Hello viewers, welcome to Sage 200 Evolution Training. My name is Robert Timothy and I'll be your trainer for today. So what is Sage 200? Sage 200 is an ERP solution that caters for your company enterprise resource planning. So this is the Sage Evolution icon. As you can see, it's labeled here, Sage Evolution. You double click on it. You give it some time to open up. So yeah, this is the login interface. So Sage is a secure solution. It provides you your username, your password, and the database on which you're logging into. So here you put in your agent's name. You should have your agent's name. Then you put in your password. I'm currently putting in my own password. Now below here, you see your OK, you see your cancel, you see your option. You click on your OK. So when you click on your OK, it begins to log you into the database. Now here you see it says your demonstration period will expire in 19 days. If you are registered, you shouldn't be seeing that. So you shouldn't bother when you see that on your own. You won't even be seeing this on your system because you'll be registered for a few, I think, annual subscription. So when you be seeing this should be towards like 30 days to the expiration of your solution. But for now, you shouldn't see that. So you click on letter and it should start logging you into the Sage environment. So here you see it's loading up various plugins and environments for Sage. So below here, you should see your company name, your agent's name, the database you're logging in, and your common name. So it's important you log into the proper database and you log in with your proper agent's name and also your company name. You log into the proper company name also. So this will take a bit of a while for it to open up your environment. So you just have to be a bit patient while it open up your environment. So while that is going through, I'll be starting today's training with the store department. So for the store department, they have to do with inventories and GROVs and purchase order with the suppliers and all of that. So we have a list here which we'll be proceeding our training with. And the first on our list is the inventory item creation. But before we dive into that, let me explain the interface you're seeing here. Above here is what we call the menu bar. So you can see your file, you see your view, dashboard, you see my desktop. On your own, you shouldn't see administration and other things because you're seeing this on my system because I'm logging in using the admin password. But on yours, you won't see most of that. Okay, so you'll be seeing the reports, the inquiries, and the virtual chats. So this is what we call your menu bar. So on this other side, we call this place the system tree. So like a tree, it has various branches, okay? We also call it modules, okay? So it is broken down to fit the various modules in which your process is being classified into. Here you see your GL, you see your tax, you see your customer, you see supplier, and you see inventory, you see procurement, bill of materials, you see your points of sales, and other inventory issue here, and voucher management and other modules or system trees. Okay, and on this other side of it is what we call your work area. We'll call this place your work area. Okay, because this is where you do most of your work. So we'll call it your work area. So for the store department, our first call of duty is inventory item creation. So how do you create items in your inventory? So you go to your inventory. So when you open your inventory module, you see it's broken down into um maintenance. You see the other one is transaction, you see inquiry, and you see reports. So here also the same thing you see. Here you see the related tax. What is related tax? Related tax are things that you work with on a regular basis, on a day-to-day basis. So you see your inventory item, price updates, badges. You see your inventory counts, valuation by date, control account reconciliation, and inventory journal. So from this, your inventory tree or your module, you can see you have your maintenance and you have them here. Your maintenance is colored in green. Okay. So under maintenance, you have, let me click on maintenance here. So you have your bin location, you have in item category, units of measurement, you have inventory relink, and a lot of stuffs here. So I will just explain a few with which you'll be working with. Okay. So you have your units of measurement. You click on the units of measurement. Okay. Now it shows you all the various units of measurement in which you will be working with over time. You have your bag, you have bottles, you have carton, cup, gram, kg, you have your loaf, liter, modus, pack, PS, pieces, portion, sachets in unit, and you have your wrap. So how do you create this? You see the button above here. You see your add, edit, delete. You click on add. So you put a code in which you want it to be. So let's look for an item, and we call it what should be a very good item. Okay, let's create another one we call pieces. Okay, remember we have pieces here, so we're just recreating the pieces. So we'll use our double S for this, and we'll name this one as pieces. So just be careful because we've already created that item here. Okay, so this is just a double recreation. So you put a code here, which is a short form of it, and you put the description, which is the description of that code, which is pieces. Now it's explained here that what is the category of that pieces. So when you click on this drop down menu, you see different categories. You see it in amount, you see it in area, you see it in length, in volume, and in weight. So what is pieces? Pieces is in what? In amount. So we select pieces, we select amounts. Okay. Then if you have various units of measurement which varies, let me say for instance, you have your kg to gram, which is kilogram to gram. Okay, you can put it here that 1000 gram make what is equals to 1 kilogram. Okay, so you can see it here. You click on this drop down menu and you say 1000 pieces is equals to 1 kilo pieces. So if there's anything like that, okay, but if there's none like that, you're good by this. So you click on OK, and you see you've created your pieces. Okay, so be careful because we have pieces here and we have another pieces here. Okay, so on edit, when you click on edit, you want to edit an error. Okay, so you can edit it and you click on OK. Okay, so the next one now is delete. When you click on delete, remember that you have to select that item you want to delete. When you click on delete, you see it said delete unit of measurement pieces. When I say yes, that item is being deleted. So we're moving further. We have what else again? We have groups. So we have all your system group. So there's no need for you to deal with this because all of this has been created initially. So there's no need for you to deal with that. Okay. So quickly we look at inventory warehouse item. No, not this. Sorry. Inventory item. Okay, so this is where we do inventory item creation. So if you look at this place now, you see that we've created various items ranging from alcoholic to non-alcoholic to food and various beverages. So if you check here, you see that you have codes. okay, which is alcohol 001. You have alcohol 002, representing the description of various types of alcohol and the group in which this alcoholic drink fall under. Okay, so you have alcoholic drink, you have food, which is finished foods, various types of finished foods. You have um, housing, which is housekeeping, various types of housekeeping material here. You have kitchen, various types of kitchen items. So these things, this KITCH minus 1, 5 represents kitchen item, okay? And the group here represents kitchen group, okay? So we have various group here, so you have to scroll down to see the final group. We have stationaries, we have pool, we have non-alcoholic, we have maintenance. Okay, so how do you create an item? How do you create an inventory item? Right here, you have various, you have your add, you have your edit, you have your delete, you have your search, you have your inquiries, you have your save grid. Okay, so if you want to create an item, you have to make sure that you search for that item and make sure that that item is not in the system. So let's take, for instance, we have turmeric. Turmeric is a popular kitchen item. So we say turmeric and you search for it. So you see that turmeric is not here, right? So we click on search and we cancel search so that it will bring back all of our initial items. And we'll go to add. And before you add anything, before you add that, I want you to always check your kitchen item because the code in which you use to add it must be the last code, okay? It is auto incremental, so you have to use the last code. So here we see we have 1898, we have 90, okay. We have other higher figure, we have 231, 232, 2, we have 240. So the next one should be 241, right? So you come here, you click add. So make sure that your coding is in cap logs. Okay, so we're in cap logs. You can say KITCH minus 241 because the last one here is what? 240. So the next one here should be 241. And when you click on your description, you highlight it and you say it's turmeric. So you delete wherever that comes up there and you call it turmeric because that's what we want to add. So under this item type, you see active. So what does this mean? It means we want to make this item to be active. It's already checked here. Okay, but if you want to inactivate it in future, probably you don't want to use it because you have a duplicate or whatever reason you have, you can uncheck it. You can always come to uncheck it. But since we are just creating it, we check it. Okay, so here you have your warehouse item. Okay, so what does this mean? It means, is this item a warehouse item? Yes, it is a warehouse item because it's being bought and stored in our warehouse. So we check our warehouse item. Then it says, do we use a unit of measurement for it? Yes, we use units of measure because when we purchase it, we use a scaling method for it. We use a unit of measurement for purchase. So we'll click on OK. So the next one we'll go to information. So under information, this is where we just select the group in which it fall under. Under this group, you come to this drop-down menu. You see various types of group. You see alcoholic drink, finished food, housekeeping, kitchen, and laundry, and all of that. So it is what group does it fall under? It's fall under kitchen. So we select kitchen. Under units of measurement. So what kind of measurement does it comes with? Mostly things like turmeric should come under a scale because it's being measured with scaling. So we look for our kg, which is kilogram. Okay, so it should be measured using kilogram. So after doing that, after selecting your kg, you click on OK. So that is how you create it. Look at it here. You see your turmeric has been created here, right? So that is how you create that's how you create your inventory item. Okay. Over here, you see your edits. You can come here, you click on edit, you click on that item, okay, and you click on edit. So we use it to probably edit errors which we've made. Probably you wanted to create garlic and you created turmeric. So let's convert it to garlic. We say garlic, right? Garlic. So we've changed the name to garlic. Now, one thing I want you to understand is the system understands the code. But you as a user, what you understand is the description. So once you've created this code, this is what the system understands. And what you as a user should understand is the description. So you should always make sure you use the right description when creating your item. So I've edited our turmeric to garlic and we'll click on OK. And you see that our turmeric has changed to garlic using the same code. Okay. So if for instance now we'll find out that, okay, let's do our search and we say garlic, right? And you see we have two garlic. Beautiful. We have two garlic, right? That means it's a duplication. We cannot be buying, we can't be having duplication on the system. So which means we have to delete one of these, right? Good. So we'll click on search and we'll cancel our search. Okay. So we'll go to kitchen 241, which is our recently created item. Kitchen 241. Kitchen 241. This is it, garlic. Okay. Now what I want you to look at is what? The next option, which is delete. This is how you delete an item. Okay. So we've talked about how you add an item. We talk about how you edit the item. Now, how do you delete an item? You select that item and you click on delete. So the system is very smart, okay? The system knows that most time you may, out of mistake, out of error, out of accidentally click on delete. So it will give you the option of rethinking your decision. It say delete inventory item this, yes or no. So if it was an error, you will quickly click on no. But if you, since you purposely want to delete it, you click on yes. Okay, and that's how the system deletes it. Now, if you check your system, you see you don't longer have the kitchen 214 item there anymore. Okay, so under here, you also have inquiry. Okay, but we'll be talking of that inquiry in our future class. So this is how you create your inventory item. So the next thing under this now is what we call your inventory journal. So for your inventory journal, I will be brief a bit because we don't have much transaction on the system. So under inventory journal, you can click on your inventory. Okay. Now, under your related tags, you see your inventory journal. You click on inventory journal. So under here, you see all of your inventory journals which I've created. So you can always create your new journals, right? So how do you create your new journal? Now you see this, it's called new batch. Okay. On this menu side, you see your new batch, open batch, delete batch. Okay. So you click on new batch. Now, your batch numbers are auto incremental because here you can see we have inventory journal 16. So the next one now is what? Inventory journal 17. So under your batch description, it says, what do you want to name this journal? Okay, so we can name it correction, you can name it opening balance, you can name it various names we want to give it. Okay, so over here, you see that we have our opening balance journals, but here we can put it at let's say adjustment. Okay, so we'll call it inventory adjustments. Good, perfect. So yeah, the system is smart enough to know who is creating this thing because yeah, it's created by who. So everybody on the system has a tag. Okay, you have an audit number. So when you create something, the system recognizes who created it, the agent who created it. So under here now, it says clear this batch after posting. Do you want this batch to clear? So what you just finished putting now, when you want to post it, do you want the system to clear it off? So most times it's good you clear it up so that you don't do a repost. So we'll say yes. Now, do you want the system to allow duplicate reference? Yeah, most times we use duplicate reference, so I will say yes. And I'll click on what? Okay. When I click on OK, the system brings out the windows for me. So here you have your item code, item description, and all of this. Okay. So what is that item you want to do? Probably your journal on. You can always select this drop down here to see your item, or if you're smart enough, you can always add it. So let's say let's add alcohol. Let's use life. Okay. System is smart enough to recognize that item you're trying to put under the item description. So when we put live and we use our tab key, we press our tab key, the system understands what you're looking for and it brings out the corresponding item code. Okay, so the under your inventory, under your warehouse, you have to select a warehouse. Okay, now we have various types of warehouse, but since we want to do our inventory adjustment under main warehouse, which is a store, we select the main warehouse. This place now has to do with your dates. So you select the dates you want to do that transaction for. You can do it on a backlog or a present, but you cannot do future. Always take note, you cannot do future transaction. You can only do present or backlog. So let's say we want to do for Friday. Okay. So, and the system say what you want to do. You see your transaction code. So under your transaction code, you see your adjustment, you see bill breakdown, and all of this here. Okay. So I can say what I want to do is adjustment. I want to adjust it. Okay. So the system gives me my GL contract account. Here I can put my reference. Let me put my reference as new and my description as what? Adjustments of let me see, opening balance, opening balance, opening stock item or opening stock balance for March. We're in the month of March. Okay. So yes, the system will tell you how many quantity you have on hand. Currently, we have 0 quantity on hand. So the system will also ask you, do you want to bring in this quantity or you want to take out? Let's say you have 10 quantity, okay, and you want to bring in 5 more quantity to make your total quantity 15 in number. So you can always put that here, or you want to take out. You have 10 quantity, you want to take out 2 so that your total quantity will be 8. Because most times we do errors in our stock taking and wherever we did it, we observe that. Okay, but always make sure that your inventory journal comes with approval. Seek from your superior approval. Okay, so when you put it your in or your out, okay, now under your unit cost, the system will measure the unit cost, and when you want to put in a new unit cost, probably that unit cost when you bought those items, okay, those items, the cost change over time. All right, so you want to put in the current cost or the cost which is applied to that new figure, those new item, you put in a new cost to it. Okay, so when you're done with that, you use your tab key to move and you go to the next line. So you go to the next line. So when you're on the next line, you can add the next item. So when you're done with all of that, you always make sure you cross-check. Always make sure you cross-check. So when you're done with all of that, here you have your validation key. You see, it requires that you validate your badge. What does validating badge mean? It means that you're checking it. The system will check the badge to make sure that everything is in proper order. Your dates, the warehouses, and the items there, and that you use the proper quantity. Okay, the system will check it. If you use any wrong field, okay, the system will pop up an error. But if everything is all right, the system will tell you that validation successful. So the next thing you do is click on your post badge. So post badge means you are posting that transaction to various ledger. Okay. So either it's the inventory ledger, the suspense ledger, this post badge will post them to the various ledger. And when you're done with that, it will wipe off this, because when you use your clear badge, remember I talk about clear badge when you're creating your inventory. So when you're done with posting your badge, the system wipe this off, and that is the end of that. Okay, so here you talk of delete. Okay, open badge, you click on this and you click on open badge. So when you click on that, it opens your badge. So here you see we have various types of badge here. We have various types of badge here. So on this place, there are some transactions that were done here. So, but notwithstanding, we will handle this. Okay. On your working on your live database, you won't have all of these transactions. Okay. So this is just for a test. Okay. So we can close this. We close this. So we can also talk of delete. You select what you want to delete and you click on your delete key. Okay, it asks you, are you sure you want to permanently delete that badge? If you say yes, the system take it off. So that is how you do your inventory badge. So the next on our list is what we call the purchase order to the goods received voucher. Okay, so under your purchase order, most times you may be lucky. Most people do their processes from purchase order, but you as a store person, you do your own by receiving your goods, because you have a procurement team, right? So your procurement team do the purchase order. So we'll skip the purchase order and we'll go to this goods receive voucher, because that is what you do. You receive your goods using your goods receive voucher. So still under your inventory, you go to what? You go to transaction. Okay, here under transaction, you see that the color is red, and under inquiries, the color is blue, and under report, the color is purple, right? Yes, purple. So under transaction, you click on transaction, you see all the transactions you have under inventory. Okay, there you see that you also have your journal badge under transaction, you have your warehouse transfer under transaction, you have a credit note, you have adjustment, invoice, and all of this. So what are we talking about? We're talking about goods received voucher. You click on it, you click on your goods received voucher, it will pop up a menu for you. Okay, you pop up a menu for you. So how do you do your goods received voucher? Now you select a supplier. Let's say we want to use Silico. Okay, so we use Silico. You put in your supplier invoice. Oh, we're choosing a supplier invoice of 05 days and that. Yes, because when you buy goods, your supplier probably give you an invoice. So you have to label in your invoice for it. Okay, so two ways you can do this. Either you use your supplier invoice or you use your GRV number, a GRV booklet number as a supplier invoice to track it. Okay, so whichever way you handle that. So you select the date, your order date. Today is 24. So you're supposed to do your order on a daily basis. Okay, but most times your order can be probably last night. The order came in last night, okay, and you came in to work the next day. So you have to bring it in as of last night, which it came in, or since you are receiving it this morning, okay, which is the current day you are receiving it. So you have to use your current dates. Okay, you have to use your current date you are receiving it. If you receive it on the 30th, on the 23rd, you use 23rd. If you're receiving it on 24th, which is today, okay, you use your dates. So we are receiving this today, we're using our dates. And here you click on this bar, this empty space. When you click on it, it brings up this menu. Okay, so what item are we looking at? We want to bring in. Okay, we talk about live. When let's select live as an item. So when you select your under your item description, when you select an item, okay, mind you, we can use the drop down menu, but we can still type in our item. So I explained before that the system understand item description. Sorry, the system understand item code, but you as a user, you understand item description. So That item description, which we understand, we put it here, and the system will automatically bring out its own understanding code. Okay, you use your tab key to move to the next point, which is this description. You use your tab key to move to the warehouse. So what warehouse are you selecting from? We have was receiving that goes into the main warehouse, right? Good. So the system will tell you how many is in quantity as at that moment. Okay, so here you say you have 0. Now let's say we're collecting a crate, okay, a crate of life, and we know that our life is 12. So the system give you a unit of measurement, which is UOM. Unit of measurement is pieces. Okay. So let's say our life is 500 a bottle. Okay. Yes. So 500 naira is for one bottle. So definitely our 12 bottles will be times 500. So the system is asking you, what is the tax type? We have various types of tax type. We have input, we have output, and we have exempt. Okay, so exempt means there was no tax on the purchase. If there was tax on your purchase, you use your input tax. But if there's no tax on your purchase, you use your exempt, which is 7. Okay, so you use your tab key, you move. The system here tells you how much that O item is, which is 12 times 500. It tells you is what? 6,000 naira. So let me show you another fast thing that will save you a lot of stress. Do we have Budweiser? Let's see if we have Budweiser. Good. So we can use the name. We use our tab key. We use our tab key. Now this place that is called warehouse. Okay. You can see that your main warehouse, other than you clicking here down, you can just use the beginning number for it, which is M. And the system automatically understands that what you want to bring in is what? Main warehouse, which is what you have here. So you put in, let's say 24, right? And we say the system automatically give you your unit of measurement. And we say here is 600. And this place now, rather than looking for using your drop down menu, okay, we can just click on 7. We're telling the system immediately that what we want is what? 7, which is our exempt, because we've been using the system from time to time and we've mastered all of those. Okay. So the system automatically starts doing all of that, right? So on this part here, we're done with what we want to bring in. So you go to this up, we want to receive this stock, and we say receive stock. So the system asks you, do you want to print your goods receipt voucher documents? If you want to print it, yes. But if you don't want to print it because of wastage of paper, you click on no. And now you've received that stock into your system. Okay. Now, you as a store person, you're supposed to also raise a supplier invoice with which that supplier is to be paid. So you come to this place that says open. After you receive your stock, the next thing is to raise your supplier invoice. You come to open, all right, and you select that supplier. The name of that supplier was what? Silico. And here you ask the document type, which is GRV and supplier invoice. SIMV means supplier invoice. Okay, we have various type of document type here, but what we're dealing with is GRV and supplier invoice. So you click on find. So you see your dates, okay? You see your GRV number. That GRV we just created. This is the number. And you see what? The GRV was what? Archived, which means it was created and successful. Now, on the next line here, you see that you see what it says. Say your supplier invoice is what? Unprocessed. This is under your state. The state of your supplier invoice is what? Unprocessed. So you click on it and it brings up that your supplier invoice. Okay, that your GRV. You have to create it into a supplier invoice. So your supplier invoice is here, everything is here, everything is as normal. You see your price confirmation is normal. And you go to this place that says what? Process invoice. So when you click on process invoice, the system asks you, do you want to print it? Yes or no? So since we don't want to waste paper, we'll click on no. So this at this moment, it has sent this supplier to what? The procurement department, that this supplier has supplied us. You are free to what? Pay this person. So that is how we do what? Our goods receive voucher to what? Supplier invoice. We've converted our goods receive voucher to supplier invoice. So do you understand that? Good. So when you're done with that, you can either click on this close, or you come to this place and click on the close, whichever one work. So you click on the close. So the next thing here is what? Our warehouse transfer. So you as a store person now, the F&B people will always come to you and say, oh, we need this item, we need this item, we need that item. What do you do? Still under your inventory, you click on your inventory, okay? You click on transaction. We are still under transaction because you can see the color is what? The color is red. Under your transaction, you see what? Warehouse transfer. You click on your warehouse transfer. You have your main warehouse, which is your store. You open it. Now the store people has given you the list of what they want to collect. So you have to, sorry, the F&B, okay, they've given you a list of what they want to collect. So you have to transfer those items from your main warehouse towards the F&B warehouse. So currently we have what is it called? We have Life and Budweiser on the system. Okay, so if we click on Live and we use our tab key, okay, just the way I taught you, right? When you click, you use you understand, you interact with item description, the system interacts with what? Item code. Now let me show you something. You see this item code, you have to start scrolling. Okay, so most times what the system understands is this code, and you may not understand all of it. So it's always easy for you to work with what? Item description. Okay, so let me give you a piece of advice also. The most items like Maggi Royco and Royco Maggi. Okay, sometimes you may start with Royco. Let's say Royco. You see, it says it's not on the system, but let's say Maggi, right? Now you see Maggi Royco, but there's nothing like Royco Maggi, but you have it as Maggi Royco. So when you have items that have a name and surname, let me call it name and surname. Yes, let me call it name and surname. So sometimes when you check with the first name and it's not on the system, always try to check with the second name, because it's possible that whosoever created it didn't create it with the other part of the name. So always check with what? Name and what? Surname. Good. So we're talking about life. Life was the drink we were talking about. Life. So they want to use it for probably their bar. And you select your warehouse, which is what? Main warehouse. You say from what warehouse? From main warehouse to which warehouse? To the F&B warehouse. It says you have how many what? You have 12 quantity available, right? So how many quantity do you want to give out? Let's say you want to give out 4 bottles. Okay. It asks you what is your reference. You can always use your coach, your transfer, your booklets, okay, your requisition booklets. Okay, you should have code here. You can always use the code. I will use 2255 as a code. And you can always put your description collected by Mr. So and so person, by Mr. F and B. Okay, so we are not dealing with projects here. So it tells you the cost. Okay, it tells you the cost of 1 bottle. Okay, so it tells you the cost. Let's do that Royco Maggi. Yes, Maggi Royco. Okay, so the system helps you auto fill this. Okay, anyway, it's unfortunate we don't have any quantity on it, so let's use a Budweiser. Okay, yes, we have 24 of Budweiser. I want to give them 12 pieces. Let's be cheerful enough to give them 12 pieces. Okay, and we're using same code. Okay, and we can copy this and we can paste. So I used your Control V and Control C to copy and Control V to paste. And you see your cost of it. All right. So when you're done with all of that, you come to post batch. Always make sure that you check your dates, please. The date of that your transaction. Check your transfer dates. Okay. Make sure that you're using the correct dates, please. So you do your what? Post batch. I say this badge has been modified. You want to save? If I say yes, so the system has validated my badge and asked me if I want to print it. I don't want to print it, so I'll clearly say no. He said, do you really want to post this badge? You see, the system is smart enough, very, very smart enough to always ask you questions, especially when it comes to posting badge. The system may probably take it that you're making an error. So the system keep asking you questions regularly, so that you can always stop if you make a mistake. So here I will say yes. So that has been posted. The system say badge successfully what? Posted. So that amount of item has been transferred to what? F&B. So that is how you do your warehouse transfer. So we're talking about the next one, which is return to supplier. Yes, return to supplier. There are instances whereby you can do your return to supplier. One of those instances is probably a supplier supplied you with damaged goods and you've received it before noticing it. Okay, you can always return it to the supplier. Or if you made an error when bringing in your GROV, you can always return to the supplier. So how do you do your return to supplier? You go to on your inventory, you go to transaction, right? You see your RTS, return to supplier. You click on your return to supplier. Okay, so there are two ways you can always do, right? One of them is going through calling up that GRV. Okay, so you go to open, you select that supplier and you select the document type, which is GRV. I want to call up that GRV, which I made a mistake or I called in. Okay, so when you double click on that GRV, okay, it pops it up. And here you can see that it is 8 that is available, and this here is 12. We've done warehouse transfer to F&B. So let's say the quantity we want to reverse is what? Want to return 2 to supplier. I want to do 2 here also. Okay, so if you have high quantity, if you have high quantity, you have high quantity of items and you have low quantity available, the system will not do your return to supplier, please. Okay, so this is your tax type. You select your exempt. Okay, so it's possible that when you're doing your GRV, you made use of tax, whereas there was no tax on that purchases. Okay, so always make sure that what is on your GRV is the same thing that is on your return to supplier. Okay, so our return to supplier is ready. So we are returning what? 2 items of Life and 2 items of Budweiser. Okay, and this here. So always put in your supplier invoice here. That supplier invoice, I think it was around 0022, something like this. Yeah, something like this. So you can click on what? Your process. You click on process. System process it for you. Say, do you want to print it? No, I don't want to print it. So the system will ask you a question. Do you want to allocate the return? Do you want to allocate return to supplier now? Yes, please, I want to allocate it. Remember, we've created our supplier invoice. Okay, we created our supplier invoice. This is our supplier invoice, and this is our return to supplier, right? So we are creating our So you do what you do here is this now. That return to supplier you've created, you drag it, and you put it on your supplier invoice. So it will debit that amount. Look at it here. This is our amount. We are debiting from what? 20,400. We are debiting it from our GRV, which was created recently. Okay, you see it, 20,400. And what we are debiting from it is what? 2,200. So when you do that, it debits that. Okay, it does the credit and debit and all of that. So when you're done with that, you click on close. It said, do you want to save change? Yes, please. So that is all. You've done your return to supplier. Another method you can also use in doing your return to supplier, okay, is you doing it straight, is the straight line method. I will call it the straight line method because remember the initial one we did was we went to call up the GROV, okay? But this straight line method now, you are filling it in by yourself. So you have to fill in everything. You fill in everything, okay? And you start putting those items one after the other. Live, sorry, live, and you start filling everything up yourself, live, and the quantity you want to take out, let's say 2 or so, and our tax type is what? Exempt, and we start filling all of that. And the next one is what? Budweiser. We're taking out 2 or so. So when you're done with all of this, you click on what? You click on your process. Okay. When you click on process, you click on your process. So it will still follow the same process in which you did the first one. All right. So you click on close. We don't want to save this. Okay. So next one we're talking about is what? Inventory inquiries and reports. So under your inventory, when you scroll to the last part, you see your inquiry. So we have various types of inquiry here, but the one you'll be using mostly is what? Your warehouse inquiry. So when you click on warehouse inquiry, it is used to inquire about what? The stock in your warehouse. You select your main warehouse and you click on what? View. When you click on view, it shows you all the items in your main warehouse. Okay, it shows you all the items. See your item cost, it gives you the costing and it gives you the amount on hand. Okay, so one more thing you can always do is, you see this save grid. Okay, when you click on save grid, it saves this file for you in Excel format. Okay, so that's a quick one for you there. It saves this file for you in what? Excel format. So let's even see what is in the F&B warehouse, and we'll use our view. So here you see this, you see live, live is at this cost, this is at this cost, and all of that. So this is the cost of live, and this is the amount that is on hand. So this is the most important inventory inquiry you'll be making use of. Okay, so quickly let's go to our reports. You go to the reports, you click on reports. Okay, so we have various types of reports. We have a transfer, warehouse transfer. Okay, let me show you this warehouse transfer, as this is also one of the types of very important reports you'll be dealing with. Okay, so you select the dates in which you want, in which you did the warehouse transfer. Okay, so this is the date we are making use of. You select the item you want to, the warehouse, the warehouse you want to check from main warehouse to which warehouse? To F&B warehouse. Okay, let me show you. Let me enlarge this for you. Okay, so from main warehouse to what? Warehouse for F&B. All right, good. So when you click on preview, it shows you all the items that have been transferred between those two warehouses. Okay. Okay. So just a bit of a while. This will take a bit of a while. The system is trying to process all the transactions you've done so far. So you just let's wait a bit. It will take a bit of a while. Good, good, good. So here we go. You see, it's telling you that we did live 4 pieces and we did Budweiser 12 pieces to what? From main warehouse to where? F&B warehouse. So you see, the system is very, very smart enough to do all of this calculation. All right. So you can close this by clicking on the close button here. You click on the close button here. So you have various, you can reprint the document here. This is used to reprint document. This is used to show your movement of goods between warehouses. Okay. What else again? Uh, Transaction. Okay. Let's look at transaction. So it's a from what inventory to what inventory and all of this. So let's quickly look at all the warehouse and all the transaction and we say view. So the system is telling you that we did a GROV transaction of this item and this is the amount, this is the quantity, okay? And then we did a warehouse transfer of that same amount, okay? Which is, I believe this is live. Yes, this is live, okay? So we did live 4 pieces of this and all that, and this should be the Budweiser, okay? This should be Budweiser. We did um our return to supplier, that is what the RTS means. We did return to supplier for this. We did return to supplier for this. So this is the live and the Budweiser transaction we did. Okay. So the system is telling you what we really did on this transaction here. All right. Good. So it's telling you that you should have a total of what? About 32 on your system. Okay, you have 12 plus 24, which is 36, right? Yes, 36. Then we return 2 2 to supplier. Remember that we did return to supplier 2 2. So the system is telling you that you should have 32 items which cost 18,200 in your system. Okay, good. So let's quickly look at inventory issue. All right, let's quickly look at inventory issue. So on your system tree, all right, you scroll down and you see your inventory issue here. Okay, you see your inventory issue. So under your inventory transaction, inventory issue transaction, you see what? Inventory issue. You click on your inventory issue. So when you click on that, you just take a bit of a while to load up. Okay, good. So we have it here. We maximize, all right? So we select our issuing dates, okay? We're issuing today. We select our GL, okay? We are issuing on GL, okay? We can select our reference number, which is our issuance. So one thing, it is only, please take note of this. Take note of this. It's very, very important. You only do warehouse transfer for F and B. Every other transfer goes through inventory issue. Transfer to kitchen, transfer to maintenance, every other transfer. Kitchen, when I mean by kitchen, please, I mean staff meal. The only ones that go through warehouse transfer is items that are ready for sale, that are being sold. Okay, like water, drinks, and all of that. But items that are being consumed internally are being moved using inventory issue. Okay, good. So you put in your inventory issuance number and you click on this outside part. Okay, so this is a bit different from the other one in the sense that you see this inventory, this item description is not active. Okay, so you have to select your item from this place, or we use an advanced search by you right click here, you click here and you right click, you see search. Okay, I call this the advanced search. So you search for a word we call let's say beer. You have a celebration that you want to consume in-house. Okay, let's call life. We select life and we'll come to this drop down. You will see life here. Life will be the only thing that will show up. We use our tab key to move. Remember your tab key, right? Good. So let's say the hotel is hosting staff, all right, and they're using a crate of life, or yes, let's say a crate of life. Okay, so we selected life as our item description. Okay, then our transaction code. What is our transaction code? Is what we have issuance, right? We are issuing this stock. We are issuing this stock to who? To who? Okay. Who are we issuing the stock to? We have issue stock to room, issue stock to repair and maintenance, and we have all other types of issuance. Okay, good. So we'll have to create one here that we call issue to all. All right, so that we can easily navigate between the various GL. So on your system, you will have what we call issuance all. So when you click on issuance all, it gives you the access to be able to create, let's say this one, repair and maintenance, okay? So it's give you the access to be able to create which of the GL, okay? Which of the GL you want it to represent. So when I say issuance all right, just a minute so that I will do this correction and you can see it. Okay, just a minute. Let me just do this correction so that we'll be on the same page. Okay, where are you? So I use my edits to edit this. You're not supposed to be here though, but let me just show you. So I call this issuance all. Good. So you see here that this GL, other ones have corresponding GL, but this issuance all does not have a GL. Okay, so that it will work as a multi-purpose transaction type for you. We cannot start creating all of the transaction type. Okay, we cannot start creating that. So let's see. Our system is not recognizing this. So let's quickly do our search and we'll call it live, right? We say live and we search it. We search it and we come here, we select live. Our transactional code is what? Sorry, always remember your GL, please. So our transactional code is what? Issuance all. So we select our code. So what is the transactional code? So your GL code should be that is an expense. What kind of expense? It's a staff food expense, right? It's a staff meal expense. So we say staff and we check if there's anything like staff meal. Yes, we have staff meal here. So we have staff meal. So we say, okay, it's a staff meal for F and B. All right. So what warehouse are we taking the item from? From main warehouse. And you see, it's telling us we have 10 items, 10 of, sorry, we have 6 items, 6 life in what? Main warehouse. The reason it was showing us 10 was because we have 6 here and we have 4 in F and B. Remember that. Okay. So now it shows our unit price, the price, which is 500. So how many quantity do we want to issue to what? To staff meal. So we want to issue like okay, let's issue the whole 6. Let them go and drink and enjoy themselves. Okay. Good. So we put in our transactional, our code, our reference code, which is this. All right. And we say process. They said, do you want to print it? No, we don't want to print. It has gone. So if you go to your main warehouse now, okay, remember I taught you about how to check your warehouse, right? Good. So let's do that together. We'll go to what? Inventory. We'll go to what? Enquiry, right? Yes. And we'll go to what? Warehouse enquiry. Perfect. I see you're getting it. So we go to which warehouse? Our main warehouse. And we click on what? View. To tell us what we have on the system. So what we're looking for is what? Life. You see that life, there's nothing in our main warehouse again. We have issued it all out to what? To F&B. All right. So that's how you do your issuance. So lastly, we are looking at issue, inventory issue, enquiry, and what? Reports. So let's close our inventory and go to what? Inventory issue enquiry. So we'll click on inventory issue. We'll go to inventory issue enquiry. We see it, inventory enquiry. All right. So they say, what warehouse do you want to inquire from? Let's inquire from what? Our F&B. Okay. So here you have to put the item you're looking for. But let's say life, which life. I will say what? View, right? So yes, and that there's nothing. Inventory, okay. Just a minute. Okay, good. So from our main warehouse, you see, it's saying that we move items from our main warehouse to what? Look at it here. It says processed live from our main warehouse. We issue out what? 6 to which people what? Remember that code we put here, which is staff me what? F&B. And you see how much it costs. It says it cost us what? Let me expand this. It cost us 3,000 naira. All right. So this the F&B, they are enjoying the food. Yes. So the next one is what? Reports. So basically we have 2 reports here, right? So which is inventory issue note listing and inventory requisition. So I will discuss about the inventory issue note listing. Okay. So you need an inventory issue note from where to where. We don't really have our inventory issue notes though. So we can just do all of it to preview all of it, and we select our GL, please. We don't work on job, we work on GL. Okay. So we work on GL and we say preview. So it will list all of those inventory issued, okay, to list from where to where. So just wait a bit. All right, beautiful. So this is our report. So it's telling you that yes, we have on this date, we have this item code. The name is live. Transaction code is what? Issue. All right. It was issued to where? This GL account. The quantity is what? This. And the total cost is what? This. So you see that the system is very, very, very smart enough. All right. So with this now we've come to the end of our today's training. Okay. So if you have any question, any observation, any thing you want to discuss relating to inventory and your position as a store person. All right. You can always be free to reach out to us. Okay. Be free to reach out. So let me show you how you log off. Okay. Under here, you have what we call file. Under file, we have exit and log off, and we have what? Exit. When you do exit and log off, it will exit you and to also log you off from the system. But when you do exit, it will exit you automatically. Okay, so let me show you. Exit is just like you're closing the system. It will just close the system like a regular system. But let me show you how the exit and log off will look like. So you see it has exited the system, but it will still pop up the Sage and tell you to log off. Here you go. It logs you off. All right, good. So this is how you close it. So you should always make sure that you exit and you log off regularly. All right. So with this, we've come to the end of today's training. I hope you've learned something today. All right. Good.